So I was listening to this beautiful man break down. He was a Jamaican man, break down color, and he was saying to a man who perceived himself as white that um, if we put water in different colored containers, would it change the water? We would only see the colors of the containers and we would identify that it's different, but it's really all the same water in a different container. And so his point was that we're all just spirits and we are housed in these bodies as vessels for only a period of time to live out the experience through the lens of this vessel or this colored container, whatever container you are, right? And it brought me to something that I said a while ago, and I had wrote it down. Like the programming that we have, that, someone will look at me and say, okay, well, she's biracial because she's this color, and I am mixed with German, and my mother is what the world calls African American, but I know she's an indigenous American Indian, right? And even saying that ruffles feathers. But the world will perceive me as biracial. Without speaking, I could also pull off being Hispanic to some degree. If I didn't have my locks and I just pressed my hair out, because there have been many times when people are like, are you Hispanic? Or are you Dominican? I've got that too. But we judge each other based on the color that the Most High painted us. And the Most High is a fan of color, a fan of beauty, right? So each of us are painted a different shade for a reason. Just like you have the blue jay and the cardinal, you have the eagles, shades of brown and white. We all have these different shades of color for a reason, and we are to live in these containers or these bodies for a moment to impress upon the world with your fingerprint that's like nobody else's, the one special thing you were supposed to do. And so as I'm deprogramming and relearning and accepting all of the things, accepting that all the things that I once knew, it's a bunch of baloney. And if you know what baloney's made from, it is made from the behind of a pig. So it's nasty, right? Most of the stuff we've learned is nasty. It ain't true. It's a bunch of BS. So I'm deprogramming. I'm learning that all that stuff is just a mess. And then I'm relearning how to see people. And then as I'm relearning how to see people and how to see the world, I'm also warring with that old conditioning, right? And when I war with that conditioning, I'm like, oh my God, like the conditioning is so deep rooted. You know what I'm saying? So it brings me to something that I wrote. This will be going in a circle a while ago, where I said it's the same thing with religion, in my opinion. Now, I have gone to Christian churches, I have gone to Baptist churches, I've gone to Catholic churches, I've gone to Buddhist temples, I studied Hinduism for a minute, I even studied voodoo for a minute. Not practice, but when I say study, I watched a couple videos on voodoo teachings and voodoo practices, right? Just trying to find myself, like, what do I connect with? What was one of the oldest things that people, paid homage to? How do they worship the Most High? So my intention was always to figure out what posture I should be in and where I should be at with the Most High. At the time, I was calling the Most High God, right? But what I realized is that religion is equivalent to a bunch of people, going back to the beginning when the brother said that we are all water in different colored containers, right? Religion to me is the same. It's another trick and device to divide us. So we get divided by color, we get divided by politics. They give you a donkey and elephant to choose from, and they tell you to trust these beasts. And they're beasts. They're going to always trample over you, right? Don't throw your pearls to the swine. And the pearls are your ancient you, the aspect of you that is the most connected with the Most High or the Creator. You don't throw those pearls to beasts, right? So you get a blue or red, a donkey or an elephant. You get this description of what you are, what color you are. It's stamped on a certificate when you come into the world, saying that this is who you are. And then you're forced into falling into some type of religion, right? And religion to me is like a bunch of people going to the ocean with a pitcher. I say a Kool-Aid pitcher. Going to the ocean with your Kool-Aid pitcher. Some people got 5 gallons, some people got 2 gallons, some people got a couple ounces, right? And they all at this lip of this mighty, massive, great thing. And no one can really define it. No one can really put their finger on it. No one can really contain it. But we all go to this lip of the ocean. We call it shore. We scoop up what we think is our portion of it. And we capture it and we put it in a container. And we go to the next person and say, see, look, I got 5 gallons of it. No, I got 2 ounces of it. Well, your 2 ounces ain't good enough. You got to be able to have 10 gallons of it. When all the while, none of us will ever capture the whole ocean, right? So we're fighting on the shore over a body of water that's greater than all of us, over our perception of what this is, this great creator is. And we're fighting over it when we're so tiny compared to it that no matter how much fighting we do about what portion, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I'm an atheist, I'm into Scientology, none of it matters if the ocean roars back and creates a wave. It will collapse all of us. So we have all these divisions for what? And no matter how much of the Almighty you scoop up, none of us will have all the secrets to the great creator. None of us will ever reach the bottom of the ocean. And so for me, at this point in my life, I'm not identifying with any of the things that people have told you should be. And I'm not even gonna say people, these entities influenced us to be, well, you should identify as biracial. And when you identify as biracial, people make you feel like you got to choose a side. Well, I got to choose my mama's side or my daddy's side. And you got to automatically assume that everybody on my daddy's side, which is German, is colonizers. And everybody on my mama's side was slaves. And that ain't true. Then they make you decide, okay, well, you got to be a Democrat because you're part of the one drop rule, right? Because you got black in you. Right? But that's not a nation, that's not a tribe, that's a color. Or you got to be Republican because your daddy's a colonizer, right? Your daddy has to be a colonizer because he's German. Off the top, he got to be a colonizer, right? And so then, all the religion. So I just got to the place where I'm watching everybody on the lip of the ocean argue and fight with each other about containers that someone told us we should collect and store up. And they get so high and they get so heavy that if you don't adhere to every single thing these containers say you should measure up to, they collapse on you and fall. So if you're not the perfect Christian, you're stoned. If you're not the perfect Buddhist, you're stoned. If you're not the perfect Democrat or Republican, you're stoned. If you were once Democrat and then you went to Republican, you're trash. If you were once Christian and you went to Buddhism, you're going to hell. And so all of these containers, no, it doesn't matter what container you pick up. Don't matter what you put in it. How much of what you think you need in it. At some point, if you don't live up to the expectations of what these entities placed on us, you will feel like you failed. And so now I'm just standing back and I'm like, I don't want a container of any of it. I'm just going to admire the ocean. I'm just going to admire that there is something far greater than all of us that stitched us together in a way where we are one massive quilt. And no matter how much we try to pull away from each other, the thread is so thick that we cannot rip up this quilt. So I'm at a place in my life where I'm just like, you know what? Screw all these titles. Screw all of these expectations of what a person should be. You should be this kind of Christian and this kind of Republican or this kind of Democrat, or you should be this kind of Buddhist or this kind of Hinduist, or if you practice hoodoo, you're automatically a witch. If you practice voodoo, you're automatically going to hell. Like all of these preconceived notions that we just got about each other. Listen, you do whatever you feel is right for you. Wherever your journey takes you. That's where I'm at now. I was once very judgmental, very critical of everybody, very religious. It's a narrow mindset, not a narrow path, because there's more religious folks than there are not. So that path is very broad. There are more people who give into the beasts, the elephants, and the donkeys than there are that don't. So the narrow path is truly those who say, listen, I've searched out all these places and I did all these things. And what I found was I didn't need any of it. That the kingdom of heaven is really within. And instead of trying to colonize this great force of power and say it needs to fit in this kind of container, I'll just admire it from afar and understand it's greater than me. Understand that this whole existence is greater than me. Understand that I am but one fabric or one patch of this great quilt. And I'll never get all the answers, and I don't want all of them. I'll never find all the truths. I'm only going after what my soul needs on this quest, on this journey, in order to do what I need to do before the Most High calls me home. And I'm willing to risk detaching from all of it to truly just hear the voice of the ocean. Just hear the great power. Because all of them place you in a container, and if you don't live up to those expectations and you don't measure up to what they believe you should be, they stone you. Christ said himself, I am the stone the builder rejected. So where's everybody's foundation on then? Or what is everybody's foundation then? If the stone was rejected, if the piece that puts it together spiritually is no longer there, then it's just a house, it's just a building. It's not a home. So, although I still read my Bible and I enjoy scriptures, I believe there's gems and jewels in everything if you just look with an open heart and open mind. I have talked to atheists. I have talked to people who have Baphomet tattoos or, the pentagram. And I'm like, hey, that's your journey, baby. I'm at a place now where I'm really like, that's your journey. That's your Zelda quest. It might not fit with me. But I'm judging the fruit on people. Like, how's your spirit? How's your spirit? And that's what I'm determining if I want to be around you. Not all these other things, all these other containers you decided to go collect and fill up, to say that you belong to something. And that's really what it is. We all want to belong to something. But just like everything in nature is interdependent upon something else, so are we. And we are great patches of a great quilt. And nobody's going to get all the answers. So just enjoy the journey. Stop placing yourself in containers. Let go of that pressure. And this is me speaking to me mostly, because I just had so many religious constructs in my mind that I'm like, no, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's a prison. I'm not saying I'm about to go out here and do nothing crazy. I still adhere to the voice of the Most High, which is reason. Like, don't do this because this is a consequence. And when I think of idolatry, it's not just, you worshiping symbols and wooden statues and golden calves, right? That's the carnal thing. But anything that's louder than the whisper of the Most High, in my opinion, that's adultery. So if my anger is that high to where I'm about to spaz out, I'll remove myself from the situation, because now I'm falling into idolatry. And we get caught up in idolatry with our politics, with our pastors, with our jobs, with our belief systems. We get so wrapped up in idolatry And we don't even see that it's idolatry, right? We don't see that we're worshiping these things because it's not a golden calf and a wooden statue. But anything that causes you to be extremely defensive, I'm learning for myself to check it. Does it have more power over me? And if I say I believe in something, which is what the man said in the video, then that means you have doubt. But if I say I know, that means I'm confident, and there's no moving that. So I'm learning not to believe in anything, but to know. I know that the ocean is greater than I am. I know that we are all interdependent of one another. I know that I am just a patch on the big quilt, and I know no container can ever hold the Creator. So why would I even try? Just going to admire the beauty of the all from afar. And do my best, and I'm still working on this, to respect those who still have that mindset and have that understanding that this container that I carry of the all is the container. And if you don't measure up to this, you're going to hell. Still show grace and love to those people regardless. Now that's been my challenge. Because I see my old self, right? And I'm like, oh man, that was me. So no matter what container you try to fill up, you'll never get it all. So just admire the ocean. Admire the sand. Admire all the things that are in the ocean. Admire the sky. Admire it all. Just know that aspects of all of that is you. Because you were created in the all. In the image of the all. The all-omnipotent, the all-powerful. And for me, thinking like this has made me even broaden my perception of the Most High and my love. Because when Christ said in the Word that my Father has a mansion with many rooms, I don't see that as a physical building anymore. When I was religious, I did. I was like, oh man, people gonna be in this big old mansion, right? Streets of gold. I think of galaxies now, star systems, dimensions, portals. I mean, like beyond just a mansion. Like you're talking about a galaxy. Streets paved in gold could very well be the stars that light up the street. That the shimmer of the star looks like gold. You know what I mean? Like that's how big I see the Creator now. And so I cannot box this ancient being that literally put its breath in all of us. I cannot box it anymore. And I don't want to box anybody else anymore. I don't want to box myself. So it's that time for a lot of us to go on our Sammy quest, like in Sinners, and our Zelda quest. And that can be a lonely quest because you're not going to fit in. You're not going to adhere to all of the standards and the rules that they tell you should follow. You're going to want to break free from it. And it's a beautiful experience. It's like a baby bird finally developing their wings and their courage to fly. And it's kind of scary. But once that wind hits under your wings and you get a taste of the open air, you won't want to be contained by anything or anyone anymore. So if this is for you, baby, start flying.